relocation is as you might expect it to be. Relocating people off of their homelands and into the cities. 8 different cities the government chose from. And the second thing was the policy of termination. And this policy meant that their status as tribes was going to be terminated. They would no longer be Native Americans, they would just be Americans like everyone else. So it was a continued policy of forced assimilation. So you can imagine why some of those folks, especially younger folks who made it to university, San Francisco State, UC Berkeley, UCLA, UC Riverside, all these big name schools that we think of, well, once they started learning a little bit about their true history and what had happened to Native Americans throughout time, they decided to come here and protest the government. Well, what was the result of that protest? Well, a couple things. Those policies completely reversed. It's why we still have reservations today. It's why we still have tribes today. The government wanted to do away with it altogether, but we still have today because of this larger red power movement during that time, during that civil rights era. A couple other things happened. We're here today, I would argue, because Native Americans occupied this place. The government was going to sell it off to private hands originally, and they were going to turn it into a shopping mall. So I'm not sure that how many people would be here today. Probably still a lot. I don't know. It's Christmas, but I probably wouldn't be working here at the time. They were about to sell it off to private hands, and at the last minute, Native Americans came, and then Congress, the media gets involved, and once the media gets involved, Congress gets involved, and once Congress gets involved, they're like, "What are you doing with the place? Who are you selling to? What are they doing with it?" And 2 years later, that's when the National Park Service gets involved. We've been a national park, given tours since 1973. All right, looks like everyone's off the boat. Welcome to Alcatraz, folks. My name's Jackson. I'm a ranger here on Alcatraz. We got a couple of rules and regulations that we got to go over, and a couple of interesting tidbits along the way. Originally during the penitentiary years, 53 rules and regulations. We don't have time for all that. So, 3 rules and regulations. First one is eating, drinking, smoking. That's down here on the dock only. Smoking, specifically green barricaded area over to your left. Second thing is, you're going to see some chained off areas, some signs, some stanchions, some cones that say, "Hey, stay out of this area." That's because this is a very old island. And what is a word that rhymes with old? Mold, yes, exactly. There's lots of mold and lead and asbestos all over these buildings, except for the public spaces. You're good in those public spaces. We've covered it all up and sealed it all in, but please don't go into the closed areas. And outside, we have lots of stuff to fall off of and onto. So again, please stay out of those closed areas. Last rule is, it's a national park. So it being a national park, if you see something really cool and it fits in your backpack or your pocket and you didn't pick it up at a souvenir store, what do you do with it? You take a picture and you leave it alone. We have thousands of people that come to the island every day. If everyone took a little piece of the rock, we wouldn't be standing on rock anymore. So that's it for all the rules and regulations. Now, what is there all to do here on this island, where there's lots to do here? Number 2 question we get here is, "Hey Jackson, where are the restrooms?" Right behind you and at the top. There's only 2 sets of restrooms, so please plan accordingly. Boats leave